The other day I was looking at some photos and I remember something that will change my life forever. Do you remember the moment you discovered what your true passion was? When I was 8 years old, I loved to watch Thundercats, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and since we only had one TV in the house, I watched the series that my sister watched, like My Little Pony, The Muppet Babies, and Heidi. However, my favorite show of the time was The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross.
Hola, me alegro que me acompañen.
To me, that show was amazing because it showed me how through painting you could relax, separate yourself from the world around you, and just have a good time. Probably because of that feeling, I became an artist many years later. And even though I had the Star Wars action figures, the Transformers action figures, and the Care Bears action figures, I felt like something was missing from my collection, something that inspires me. So in this video, we're going to make the Bob Ross action figure. The only problem is, I have never made a toy before. And I know myself. Every time I wanted to do something that I don't know how to do it, I just procrastinate and pretend to be busy and always find an excuse to leave the project without even trying. But today, that's gonna change. So first things first, I'm gonna use an artificial intelligence that's gonna help me to visualize how the Bob Ross toy is gonna look. So I asked the artificial intelligence to generate me a portrait of Bob Ross. The result is great. It's super artistic, but it's very realistic, so let's go for something more stylized. How about a portrait of Bob Ross Disney style? Hey, cool, but I think it's too cartoony and we're looking for something in between. So if we ask to generate a Bob Ross toy, it will return some cool characters like Bly Pass, Jazz Ashlabaz, Ars Bagdas, Bobby Bruce, Bob Pass, Hop Pose, Cascady Bobs, and all kinds of bootleg toys like
Ross Piece.
And well, it also created very interesting images, like this Bob Ross holding two photos of himself, or this one, which has a toy next to another toy, or this one that comes with a pet included. But in the end, I decided to take this image of Bob Ross as a reference, because the face looks quite similar and has a good level of stylization. So, taking the reference into account, we start the modeling process. Once we finish the head, we continue with the clothes and accessories. Obviously, I added the palette and a couple of paintbrushes. And there you go, your model is finished, so it's time to add the 5 points of articulation, just like the ones found in the 80s toys. They only move the two arms, the two legs, and the head. For the joints of the arms and the head, I am using this geometry called key that will create a negative shape or gap in the object. Then I separate the legs from the hip and add two keys at that point. Finally, I verified that the joint can rotate freely without colliding with the rest of the body. And that's all, our character is finished, and now we have to transfer it from the digital plane to the physical plane. For that, I have my secret weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Panchita 3000. Alright, once the print is finished, we need to separate the pieces and clean them with alcohol. Then we can apply a thin coat of white primer. This will help us to make the paint stick much better to the model. So let's paint it. Okay, now the paint job is finished. There's only two things left to do. First is to add this easel, and second, add this canvas. However, this canvas is white, so I think it might be cool to add a Bob Ross paint on it. And for that, I'm gonna follow Bob Ross tutorial. Let's see how it goes. So let's do it.
Just shake it off and cover everybody in the room.
Qué tutorial tan difícil de seguir, él va muy rápido y en 30 minutos es imposible hacer eso. Alright, the painting is finished and I'm super happy because I learned a lot of things. And all this made me think that even if I had never made a toy or a painting before, I am surprised that now I can do it. And well, I know that neither the painting nor the toy are perfect, but the conclusion I came to is that even if you haven't tried something before, nothing should stop you from trying it for the first time and being happy with the result. So take a chance, lose your fear, and if during the process you make a mistake, just keep these words in mind.
We don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents.